Week 5 has given us another nice helping of regionals as the season draws to a close. With only 2 weeks left before Houston, I can only sit on the edge of my seat. We're in the home stretch, people. Let's see who's going to Worlds. A 1 vs 3 seed with advantage blue to start things off out of Knoxville. Mountaineer Area Robotics and the Mavericks went up against Robots Garage and Secret City Wildbots, who were on different sides at Electric City. Red wanted the tiebreaker, blue wanted the upset. Robots Garage and the Mavericks got 4-ball autos, but blue got the 36-30 lead going into teleop. Both those aforementioned teams got long balls going, but red had some key misses and blue had some clutch makes. Red got the double traversal, but blue got all that cargo and came away with the win. The Botbusters, a team that dominated both their regionals in Mexico, went stateside and got picked by the #1 team, the Bomb Squad. They went up against the 2-seeded alliance of Breakaway and Obsidian. Some unlucky bounces for red gave blue the lead out of auto, but Bomb Squad and Botbusters went to work during teleop. It doesn't help blue that 7483 Mechanically Challenged had some mechanical challenges, leaving red with the easy 3-on-2. 92-53 headed into endgame, with the Botbusters making it to the traversal and the Bomb Squad reaching the high in the closeout win. 118 is a team that everyone has on their radars every year as they crank out spectacular bots. However, since they're in Texas and on the district model, I wouldn't have talked about them until week 6. Cue the beauty of regionals as a team from Texas gets selected by a team from Florida at a Louisiana event. Children of the Swamp, winners of both their regionals, went on another tirade, taking the #1 spot and selecting the Robonauts and Alpha Omega. That alliance faced off against the 2-seed of Team Fusion, who we saw at Electric City, and the SS Prometheus, who we saw at Tallahassee. 179 got 4 of their 5 shots during auto, while Prometheus got 4 of their own. They and Fusion attacked the high hub, wanting to force a tiebreaker. 5872 stalled out, but the other 2 blue bots seemed to manage the 3-on-2. Swamp made it to the traversal, and 118 got the windmill turning to join them. Prometheus got the traversal, and Fusion got the last-second high climb. If you wanted a nail-biter, here's something to chew your fingers off as the #1 seed wins by 1 point. Central Illinois winner the Argos took the top seed at St. Louis and faced off against Mars Wars, a team they beat at Central Illinois. The Argos partnered up with Ratchet Rockers, who won the Heartland Regional, while Mars Wars teamed up with the Roboteers, who came up short against the Argos at Central Illinois. Interesting how history can repeat itself. The Roboteers landed their 3rd autonomous shot at the expense of a human player bucket, but Argo's last 2 shots gave red the early advantage. Ratchet kept rocking, while blue kept themselves in this match. Red got some pressure going, while blue couldn't match the same defense. Red got a double high, while the Roboteers broke out their signature climb for the double traversal. Despite that last effort by blue, 2481 got deja vu all over again as the #1 seed came away with the win. Team Ponage got the top spot at 7 Rivers and teamed up with the Maguanago Bears. That alliance went up against the 2-seed of TC Robotics and their pick Warrior Bots, who we saw last week at the Wisconsin Regional. Blue came away with a 7-point victory in match 1 and hoped to end it here. Just a 2-point game out of auto, with this one going back and forth. The Warrior Bots made their shots, and 5903 got defense going to a T. Warrior bots got up to the traversal, while their partners got the double mid. The McGuanago Bears got the mid for red, but that endgame mismatch gave the Blue Alliance the win. A 1 seed versus 3 seed in Nampa, with the number 1 team, Team Taters, who won Arizona North, facing off against Eagle Strike, who won Arizona North with Team Taters. Red got the advantage in match 2 thanks in part to 6036's 5-ball auto. Red kept their lead hefty with an onslaught of cargo that Blue couldn't defend. A 50-point lead for Red going to the hangar, with Blue getting the double traversal, while Red just got one up top. That double traversal for Blue could only do so much, and Red came out with the high score for the event and the regional win. The 1 seed of Madtown, who we saw last week winning Monterey Bay, faced off against Bread, who won Monterey Bay with Madtown. Bread partnered up with Duncan Dynamics, who fell short at the San Francisco Regional, while Madtown selected the Greybots, who fell short at Port Hueneme and Sacramento, but who also won the 2019 World Championship in Houston with Madtown. That sort of history helps. Of course, Madtown's 5-ball auto doesn't hurt either. Blue made quick work of chipping away at Red's lead, and looked like a tiebreaker could happen, but 3970 stalled out after colliding into teammate 5940, leaving Blue with a 2-on-3. They came back to life about 40 seconds later, but it was too little too late. Identical hangs for endgame, and 973 says 3rd time's the charm with the 155-110 win. The 1-seeded alliance of the Ninjaneers, who we saw at Orlando, and Epic Robots, who won Arizona Valley, went against the 2-seed hometown team of High Rollers, who won Orange County, and the Bit Buckets. 4415 and 987 got 4 balls in auto for their respective sides to tie things at 30. Both these alliances had high flying offenses, but the Ninjaneers and Epic were quicker on the draw. Red had the lead headed into endgame and extended it with Epic's quick traversal, but Blue got a double traversal to make it closer. Just a 3-point difference in scoring, but 16 points of penalty gave Red the breakaway win. The Hawaiian Kids, Team Kikamana, and Yukikaze Technology faced off against Blue Thunder, the Drop Bears, and Saber Dynamics in the finals at Hawaii. Red won the first match, but in match 2, Blue came out of auto with a hefty lead, thanks in part to 4774's multi-ball shooting. 4774 and 2443 kept going after the high hub, but Red's offense and defense slowly chipped away at the lead. Blue Thunder got the traversal for Blue, while Red got the double mid. That traversal proved handy to force a 3rd match. Match 3 had the same story, with 4774 getting 4 balls in auto to give Blue the lead. This one stayed closer, with 359 and 368 keeping pace with the Drop Bears and Blue Thunder. Similar hanger formation, but 2443 got up again, and the Blue Alliance came away with the comeback and the upset. Team Scream, who won Oklahoma and almost won Heartland, took the top spot at Central Missouri and partnered up with the Bronco Bots, who beat them at Heartland. That number 1 alliance faced off in the finals against the number 3 alliance of the Trobots and the Kniggets. Red took the advantage in match 1 and took a 24-point lead out of auto in match 2. Scream and Bronco Bots went on the offensive, while 5809 went on the defensive. Blue had trouble slowing down Red's scoring, and Red had a 70-44 lead going into the last 30 seconds. Scream and Bronco Bots got all the way up in sync for the finishing touches in the 104-79 win. A 1 seed versus 2 seed to cap off week 5, with the Circuit Breakers, Code Orange, and Robodocs going up against Mutebotics, the Vitruvian Bots, and Tigers. Autonomous came up 32-26 for red, but blue wanted that rubber match. Code Orange had some shots with too much zest on them, but they found their stride to fight off the blue comeback. The 2-seeded alliance shrunk red's margin, but 44-70 going for the early climb left the Circuit Breakers to shoot uncontested. The Tigers made it up to the traversal, but so did the Circuit Breakers and Code Orange at the last second. A match that had been closer than most, but red got the win when the dust settled. If you're keeping track at home, the Mutebotics made it to the finals at all 3 of their regionals. They fell short against Code Orange at Orange County, ran into the Cheesy Poofs at Sacramento, and got bested again by Code Orange at LA. Luckily for the Mutebotics, they got the wild card at Sacramento. Otherwise, this would have been a crushing end to their season. We are reaching the end game of the season. Week 6 will be a race to the finish for many teams. We have a pair of Minnesota regionals, a pair of California regionals, a Montreal regional, a New York regional, Alabama, Chicago, Utah, and Oklahoma regionals, as well as district championships for the Pacific Northwest, the Mid-Atlantic, Georgia, North Carolina, and the entirety of Texas. I will see you next week for the recap of all 15 events, so subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Until then, stay safe, get some sleep, and remember, gracious in victory, professional in defeat. Amen.
128-110, Red Alliance wins.